guys, welcome to the cottage. We're doing mini readings this evening. How are you guys doing? Welcome in, welcome in. We have the list up here of who has booked so far. If you would still like availability, we do have availability. I don't have as much quantity as I usually do, but we do still have some availability. Let's start by clearing the energy to get us off to a nice clean start. Let's see. Here we go, folks. Here we go. All right, there we go. Hey Jess, how you doing? Good to see ya. Hope you're doing good. All right, here we go. Here we go. First up is Brooke. And Brooke has a couple of questions. We'll get started on those. Let's see what we've got. Hey Kendra, how you doing, beautiful? Well, hey Phoenix. What up, beautiful? Hey, Anna Scott. How you doing? Cheers right back to you, my friend. All right. Let's read for Brooke. Brooke is up first, and Brooke is a Pisces asking about a Leo. She says, we are... And hey, Michelina, hey, Magnetic Magic, what's up? Oh, good. Good. All right. So here we go. Brooke says, she is a Pisces dealing with a Leo. In a situationship, I caught feelings for him. I'm wondering what his feelings are toward this connection. What does the future of this connection look like? Good questions. Let's see. Let's see if Leo has caught feelings for you as well, Brooke. Let's see what we can find out. Well, hey, Carolyn. All right. Let's see if what the Leo's feelings are toward Brooke, the Pisces. What are these feelings? If any, good, okay, good Lord, hold on a minute. I don't know why my cards just went nutso, but it was too many of them to take, so I can't treat that as a jumper. I'm gonna have to write that one off to poor shuffling. So let me get my ish together. Here we go. Give me this Leo's feelings toward Brooke the Pisces. Give me the Leo's feelings toward Brooke, the Pisces, please. Give me the feelings of this Leo toward Brooke, the Pisces. Give me the feelings of this Leo toward Brooke, the Pisces. Give me the feelings of Leo toward Brooke the Pisces, please. Give me the feelings of Leo toward Brooke the Pisces. I've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I have the Fool in the reverse, and I have the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So I definitely am getting the vibe that he doesn't want anything beyond this. What I also feel like is he may have some hesitancy to tell you that, or to be honest about that with the Knight of Swords here in the reverse. Let's see. Sometimes the Knight of Swords in reverse will tell you what they think you want to hear. So I want to drill down on that. That's either somebody holding some information back or not being honest about it, one or the other. Sometimes the Knight of Swords, even in the upright, can be inconsistent with communication. Those are the themes around the Knight of Swords. So we're going to make this Leo tell us what he's not telling us with the Knight of Swords here in the reverse. What is this Leo not telling us that we need to know? Death card, that he's not planning on sticking around. Magician in the reverse, he may be being a little bit manipulative towards you, particularly around emotions. Oh my gosh, yes. Brooke, I think, here's what I would predict based on what I'm seeing. I would say that probably this Leo hints around and never says anything, but says just enough to think you think, well, maybe he's getting feelings, but he's never specific, or he never nails it down. All right, that's what I'm getting here. And I think there's a reason he's not specific. It's because he's not meaning what he's saying at all, at least not about you. All right. Yeah. He's probably saying some very abstract stuff, so like, you know, I'd love to have a home and family one day, or I'd love to have a family and a wifey, and, you know, you're going to make somebody such a good catch someday, and, you know, stuff like that, but never really comes out and says, you know, I'd like to be with you one, you know, sometime, or, you know, I almost think he could say stuff like, you know, down the road, maybe I could see myself being with a girl like you whenever I settle down. I can see all of that kind of stuff going on. With what I'm seeing here, with the Magician in reverse, the Four of Wands on the board, and we're looking at the tendency to tell somebody what they think, and the whole point of the Knight of Swords, the reason that the Knight of Swords is dishonest is they are trying to get something that they want. And in order to get what they want, they'll tell you whatever they think that you want to hear in order for them to get what they want. That's the Knight of Swords in the reverse sometimes. That's a classic Knight of Swords charmer that means nothing behind the charm. That's what I feel like's going on here. I do not pick up any feelings. The Moon card, dishonesty, once again. The World in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse. He's hung up on somebody else. And I feel like it could be a past person with the World reversed. There's definitely third-party energy here. I'm not saying he's cheating. I mean, well, you guys have a situationship, okay? So he wouldn't necessarily be cheating. I'm not saying whether he's actually involved with somebody or not. I wouldn't be shocked, but at a minimum, what I'm seeing is that he still has feelings for an ex. That's unresolved. And I think that's probably something else he's not been honest with you about, because we have the Moon card here, and that is definitely masking some truth, hiding some truth. That is what's up. That is what's up. So the motivation here, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Wands, very sexual motivation, and the Six of Wands in reverse, ego, sexual motivation, self-gratification. He does not have feelings at all, and he holding back from telling you the truth. Strength card. Once again, we have ego at play, especially with the Six of Wands here in the reverse. He doesn't plan on sticking around. I've seen that repeatedly in this thing with the Hermit card. I'm going to look at the future, but right now I've got enough cards on the board and I don't have a cup in sight. Cups are emotions. I do not have one. Well, with Three of Cups in reverse, if you want to count that, but I wouldn't. I'm even hesitant to count that in the upright. In the upright, it's overall positive, but it's usually about a good time. But in the reverse, it's about, you know, third-party energy a lot of times. And the fact that I've got that with the World reverse right next to it, I think the third party is somebody in his rearview mirror. And he's not been honest with you about that, about whatever that might mean, whether he just has feelings for this person or whether he's still messing with this person or whatever. There's things you don't not been told about that. And I'll be honest, I think you've been breadcrumbed based on what I've seen. All right, let's see if there's a future for this connection between you two. Yes, happy full moon to you, Phoenix. I hope you're doing good. All right. Let's see what the future of this connection looks like. What does the future of this connection look like? What does the future of this connection look like? What does the future of this connection look like? What does the future of this connection look like? What does the future of this connection look like? What does the future of this connection look like? What does the future look like between this Leo and Brooke the Pisces? So, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This suggests to me that he walks away leaving you with more questions than answers with the Eight of Swords, all right? Really just a big mind fuck, a lot of confusion, okay? This is probably related to what I picked up, probably what I picked up in the breadcrumbing thing. That would be a mind fuck. And then we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, without explanation, without closure, without truth, maybe without communication at all, i.e. ghosting. All right? That's what I've picked up. That's what I picked up here, Brooke. And, I hate this for you. And, let me just say this about like situationships or friends with benefits. And I'm not the moral police, because I've successfully had... I've had occasion in my own life where I didn't want anything other than just, my needs met. I'm just going to be real. And I've had 3 times where I attempted that, okay? And as a Gemini, it's a little bit easier for me to detach. I'm just going to be real. And usually the times in my life where that happened, I was not over somebody and I just needed my needs met, all right? And so there wasn't a big risk of falling for someone anyway. But if you're kind of walking into something with a clean slate, sometimes, not always, but sometimes it can be more difficult to keep from catching feelings. And just as a report card on my 3 attempts at a friends with benefits situation, the first 2, the men caught feelings. And so that did it for those. And I mean, it was just what it was, no hard feelings, but no, sir, I guess we can't continue this because you've gotten feelings, and I appreciate that, but I just can't go there right now. The 3rd time, like a charm, worked like a charm. Sagittarius, Gemini, me, it worked great. We dealt with each other for probably, I don't know, off and on for probably about 6 months, maybe even longer. I can't remember. We're still friends. He's in a new relationship, doing great, beautifully. We're great friends. Everything's fine. So my point is, it makes it really difficult, especially if you have a tendency to catch feelings anyway, right? So I'm not the moral police, but I just always caution people, if you have a tendency to catch feelings and when sex is involved and not love, then maybe not try those. Right. My attempts gave me gasoline to keep going when I was down. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I got. I can't really fault the Leo in this thing, except that I think he's dishonest. But that's the thing. When you go into something and you set certain parameters and then you want to change them, it gets real risky because we don't know whether the other person is willing to do that or not. And what really kind of pisses me off about what I see with this Leo is that he's literally taking advantage of you. I think he knows good and damn well you've caught feelings. I'm just going to be real. And I think he's using that to his advantage so that he can continue to have his physical needs met. That's just what I see here. So, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Phoenix on this. You deserve somebody who's honest with you. I think you can absolutely have a successful friends with benefits thing when both people are transparent and honest. And even when one person catches feelings, it can still be handled in a healthy way. The two times that it kind of fell apart for me when the guys caught feelings. Everybody was transparent. I didn't lead them on. They didn't, they just, things happen like that. And as soon as they realized it, they asked, is there this possibility? I said, and I was really, really nice, but also very transparent. No harm, no foul. Still friends with one of those. The other one passed away, not because of me, years later. So, yeah. I think if you handle those things well, they can be done successfully. But I think that's the problem here, is this person just did not. All right, so next up is Nicole. Oh, this is you. This is Phoenix. I always do that. I'm like, oh, let me just connect the dot real quick. Let me see. I think I saw another one come in. I probably need to update. No, I thought I had one come in. I must have got a notification of something else. But yeah, so far we're all right. So Nicole, let's look at advice for you. And yes, let me timestamp for Nicole real quick. All right. Hey, beautiful. She says, hey, mama. Hi, beautiful. All right. Let's see what's up with my little Cappy Sun, Pisces rising, Libra moon. Let's see what's up, beautiful. It's the spelling prop. Maybe. I don't know. It could just be me being, Gemini brained. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Give me some advice for Nicole. Give me some advice. Okay. Well, your name is fine. Your name spelling is fine. My middle name is spelled unusual too, so whatever. I don't know why, but that was my daddy. He wanted to do that. All right, here we go. What does Nicole, my Capricorn sun friend, Libra moon, Pisces rising need to know? Well, that's a mix. That is a mix. Though, it does give you balance, right? I will say that. There's something to be said because you're coming at life with very different angles, which is good. That makes you, come to the table with a lot of different angles. I like that, actually. All right. What does Nicole need to know? What does Nicole need to know? What does Nicole need to know? Oh, Lord. Really? Now, surely they didn't get that. I always can tell it's Nicole. That's crazy. What does Nicole need to know? What does Nicole need to know? What does Nicole need to know? My life struggle. What does Nicole need to know? Nicole, your alarm bells, what are your alarm bells going out? You've got alarm bells that are go. I can't speak. What the heck is wrong with me? You've got a person, and your alarm bells are going to be going off. I literally am picking that up. May already be happening. I don't think you can put your finger on exactly what is wrong, but you feel it's something in your nervous system. You're like, okay, I can't put my finger on this, but the math doesn't math. It's confusing. It puts you in your head. Okay. I'm giving you some hints. That's the Eight of Swords that I'm looking at, right? And there's a reason that I see this. There's somebody coming towards you and offering something pretty serious. And the problem is that I don't know that they have the capacity to be able to be in that role with you, okay? With the Hierophant here, because I'm getting capacity, from the King of Cups in reverse. And I'm not saying they have an inability to love. It just may be that they have, some emotional immaturity or some kind of issues, right? And I'm going to drill down a little bit on this King of Cups in reverse and see if I can get a little specifics. But the bottom line is this. When your nervous system, Nicole, this is the advice part. When your nervous system starts going off, you get those, your body starts to react when you get that gut feeling. Sometimes you feel it, you feel your muscles clench a little bit, or shortness of breath, or your stomach gets weird, or you feel tightness in your neck, and then going along with that, you're like, something doesn't feel right about this, and I can't put my finger on it. That's what I think you're going to experience relative to whoever this is. Okay, that's the best way I know to describe that. And I don't know that you're going to be able to put your finger on it. Usually at first we can't, but I'm going to find out here. King of Cups, why are you in the reverse? You feel like, yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is what's crazy. Oh, girl. Okay, let's talk about why this King of Cups is in the reverse. Let's drill down on this a little bit. Remember I said it might not be that this person doesn't love you, they just might not have capacity. Boy, was I ever right. Listen to what the clarifiers are. 10 of Cups in the upright, 6 of Pentacles in the reverse, star reversed. So, that tells a story, all right? What does that mean? This person has emotion. They have emotion for you. I believe whoever this is, at the point in time that they come towards you, if they tell you they love you, they're being honest, okay? The kicker comes with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and that talks about a lot of things, okay? It's reciprocity or lack thereof, right? Because we got it in the reverse. Reciprocity, being able to give to something, okay? And it can be an imbalance as far as give and take, okay? When we have it in the reverse like that. And sometimes when you have a person who doesn't have the emotional maturity, then they start to feel like an energetic vacuum, okay? Because they are needy. They don't even realize it. They're needy. And I don't even say clingy. I mean, sometimes it's more overt like that. But sometimes you just feel drained and you don't know why, and it's because this person needs to learn to fill a lot of their own holes up that they are, come into a relationship expecting somebody else to fill up, right? And so the reason, unhealed wounds, okay? You can always drill down, and we don't need to go down the rabbit hole any further because I'm not going to just psychoanalyze this person to death. But the bottom line is we've got enough to know it's capacity all day long. I even would go, I don't have the cards that are going to say this one way or another, but if I were going to lay odds on something, I would say the intention is pure. So, here's what I say. Be discerning. I don't know if I'm predicting something or if this is someone you know. But that's what I got here, my love, and I hope that helped you. And thank you, as always. Appreciate you. All right. Let me add Monica. She just booked behind Carolyn. Here we go. Sometimes I just can't do it. Well, that's why you have me. That's why you have me for now. But Carolyn. There she is. Speaking of beautiful people, we have yet another one. I'm just going to say we have a lot of amazing people that follow us here. All right. So, Carolyn, let me timestamp for you, love bug. All right. So, Carolyn says, I am a Sag. He is a Pisces. He asked for space 5 days ago. What's the most likely outcome with C, the Pisces? Lord, Lord, what in the name of all things holy? Let's see what we got, Carolyn. Tell me what's going on with this. Well, I might do that first. I am going to look at the outcome because that was your actual question. Hey, Birdman, what's up? I am doing good. Thank you. I am doing good. Yeah, we've had cat shenanigans for the last 36 hours, Birdman, around the cottage, but I think we made our point. But yeah. That's true. In fact, I mean, we all will feel this full moon right now, Nicole, because it's an eclipse especially, but you, with it being in your first house, because yes, it is on your rising, you will definitely feel that. You might even release parts of yourself as far as what you thought about yourself, or some self-limiting beliefs around who you even are, possibly. Which is beautiful, right? I like that. All right. It is definitely a full moon. All right. Sorry, Carolyn. Do you want me to re-timestamp so that you don't have all that bullshit? Not bullshit, but you know, I always like for minis to be a thing. All right, Carolyn. I did that for you. All right. Here we go. Question again. I'm a Sagittarius. He's a Pisces. He asked for space 5 days ago. What's the most likely outcome with C, the Pisces? Let's see. I'm gonna do 2 questions for you, Carolyn. I'm gonna do your question, but I'm gonna do another one too. What's going on with Pisces right now? Why did Pisces ask for space? What's going on here? What's going on with the space bullshit? How you gonna ask for space from a Sagittarius? Yeah, it's Sagittarius will leave you in another country. Come on now. Come on now. How you going? What? Are you kidding me? Sagittarius invented space, man. Sagittarius came with that disclaimer when you started dealing with them to begin with. Just know that I'm going to need my space. Right? All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on with Pisces. I love Saggies, though. You know, I hope you know that, Carolyn. And really, that's just me ribbing you. I just think y'all are cute that way, that's all. But you're my sister sign, so of course I vibe. Oh, let's see here. Let's see what we got from this Pisces. What's going on? What's going on with Pisces? What is Pisces even thinking? In the name of all things crazy. How you gonna ask for space from a Sag? Let's see. Let's see. What's driving this need for space? Oh, you have made this man a little too comfortable. You have made this man a little too comfortable, my beauty. Yes, you have. He says, I can go back anytime I want. I'm going to get more on this. Why the 4 of Cups here? Why the 4 of Cups here, my man? He thinks you're lost without him right now. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. He might think you might chase him with the 6 of Wands in reverse. Repeat after me, Carolyn. Bitch, I don't chase my liquor. Why would I chase you? Why the 4 of Cups here? Why the 4 of Cups here? Why the 4 of Cups here? Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Empress in the reverse. He may be... So there's a combination of things going on here. Well, I don't know what this is with the Nine of Swords here, but I believe... Okay, here's what I got. There's a couple of different things going on here. This is multi-layered, Carolyn. This is multi-layered. He's exploring other options, just so you know. He is checking it out to see what's out there. I thought that with two aces coming out back to back, two different new people. And then I pulled third party energy in the reverse, all right, and the Two of Swords in the upright. A lot of that speaks to I've got somebody else I want to see what's going on here. Carolyn will be here when I get back with the Four of Cups. So I'm just gonna go over there and see what's up. Now the Nine of Swords is a plot twist to this thing, because deep down I'm going to tell you what's driving this. What's driving this is this. You got yourself somebody that's got some abandonment wounds. He's not divorced yet. Well, he may be reconsidering getting back with his one man. But I've got there's somebody here that's got his attention. Either it's his soon-to-be ex or another person entirely. All right, I can tell you that. Some other person has, quote-unquote, got his interest, all right? And he's literally taking the approach, well, let me just see what's over here. You know, Carolyn will wait. I can put her over here to the side, and she'll sit there and wait on me, and if this don't work out, then I'll just go back over there to Carolyn, and everything will be fine. I'm telling you what his approach is right now. I'm telling you what I see. And I think that's important here, all right? I don't know if that is his ex or yet another person altogether. Okay, I'm not really getting ex. In fact, I don't think his soon-to-be ex. I don't think it's her. Because I got aces. I got aces. I got entirely new people here. Or person or people. All right. There's definitely somebody that he is strongly sexually attracted to. I do pick that up because I've got an Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, and I have a Queen of Wands, okay? And meanwhile, he's treating you like an Empress in the reverse, all right? She'll wait. But there's a strong sexual attraction toward this person, and he's peeking to see if there's anything beyond that he wants to pull his Ace of Pentacles out for. In the meantime, he's got his Ace of Wands out. And we both know what that means, Carolyn. We both know what that is. Yeah. And whoever this is coming in as a Queen of Wands. I believe it is someone, I don't think it's his soon-to-be ex. I really don't. I really don't. Let's see what the future looks like, because that is what you asked me. Isn't that what you asked? Yeah, the likely outcome. Yeah. Let's see what that is, because that was me. That was just so I just wanted to fill in some blanks for you, so I threw that in. What's the most likely outcome here? What's the most likely outcome here? What's the most likely outcome here between these two? Pisces and Carolyn the Sage. What's the most likely outcome? Two of Pentacles in the upright. That's a non-committal energy or a juggler energy. Let's see. That was the jumper. Let's see what else comes out on this outcome. Let's see what comes out on this outcome. Jesse. Exactly. What's that? Five of Pentacles in reverse. He gonna circle back. He gonna circle back. Just like I said, he feels like you'll be there, so he's gonna circle back. He may try to juggle both of you. That may be why he's circling back. Kind of feel that way. You're welcome. You're welcome, Carolyn. I just kind of felt like, I don't know why my gut said she needs to know whatever's causing this issue. Because, you know, it can be anything, Carolyn. It can be fears, you know. But I don't know why my gut said you needed to know. And I thought maybe it's fear. No, no. It's the coochie over on the other side of the street that's got his attention. I mean, that's what I'm picking up here. I'm just being real with you. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, Page of Swords in the reverse, Page of Wands in reverse. So I don't think you'll entertain this based on what you're reacting, and I know you, Carolyn. So this is very hypothetical. I know that. If you were to continue to entertain Mr. Pisces, Mr. Spin the Dick Around, hey Delaney, this is how it would go. He would be very inconsistent on communication. He would be in and out. You would feel ignored. And you'd always feel like you were trying to watch. He would make you feel like you had to watch every move he makes. Okay? And ultimately, I don't see commitment. I see a juggler energy here. Now, do I think that's the outcome? No, because I don't think you're going to stand for that shit. Because I know you a little bit too well, Carolyn. But that's what I got. That's what I got. So I hope we fully gave you the clarity you needed. As far as, you know, when you walk away from here fully informed, right? With what we saw in the cards. I'm so glad I pulled that for you. Sometimes it's just really good to trust your intuition as a reader, right? You're like, I need to know more. Joseph, I got you. I got Monica and Joseph. Monica's up next. Joseph will be after her. Delaney, it's good to see your face. I hope you've been doing well. All right. How are things in the land down under? You are welcome. You are welcome. There is Troublemaker, Master of Strumpets. How you been, love bug? Good to see you. I don't know why, but when I saw you pop in, Joseph, I thought about Steph, your buddy Steph, who originally said, "Ruh-roh," because you were coming down clowning, because you know, you clown around with us here. And she didn't know you. But anyway, she has had a particularly rough day at work today. So my guess, we talked a little bit today. She was just in the flames at work today. And then when she went home, she was so tired. And she said, "What time is mini readings?" And I told her, and she's an hour ahead of me. And I said, "I know what you would do if I didn't say anything, so I'm going to say it. Go home, get you something to eat, and go to bed." So I feel like hope she took that advice. So yes. TGIF, that's right. It's Friday where you are. All right. So Monica is up next. Yeah. She's a sweetheart, though. You know that, Joseph. She's one of my homies. It does get tiring being a pain in the ass. I think this is why you and I get along, Joseph. Because we love fresh fuckery. I mean, we don't love it. We love, I don't know. We're just, I don't know. You know, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. We don't create drama. That's different than fresh fuckery, right? It's altogether different. All right. I almost think it's more, I almost think what you and I are doing, we're probably more guilty of fresh nonsense than fresh fuckery. We love fresh nonsense. Yep. All right. Monica. Let's read for Monica. Here we go. Let's read for Monica. She is Aquarius. Speaking of good cheeky humor, I bet she really is good cheeky humor with Scorpio, Moon, and Rising. I would love to banter with somebody with those placements. How do you use that term? Fresh butter. Yes, yes. So Monica is an Aquarius with a Scorpio Moon and Rising and a Capricorn Venus. All right, my love. Let's get some advice for you. What does Monica, the Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, need to know? What does Monica need to know? Give me Monica's advice. Give me Monica's advice. Advice for Monica. Advice for Monica. Advice for Monica. Give me advice for Monica. Advice for Monica. Give me advice for Monica. Give me advice for Monica, the Aquarius, Scorpio, with a Capricorn Venus. Yes. Yes, Nicole. They are fun. In fact, Steph's an Aquarius. The banter between us is ridiculously funny. Here we go. Why are these here? I'm a weird foul mouth. I'm here for it, Kenny. Okay. Monica, here's what I'm picking up. I feel like there's unfinished business between you and someone, all right? And that someone is their behavior is just problematic, right? And what I feel is that this person, their behavior continues to create problems as far as a foreseeable future with this person. I think you're kind of caught in a place where, you know, you're envisioning, okay, oh, this is you. Okay, all right. Oh, wow. Well, that must be who's showing up in this reading then. The person you just told me about, because that's who's showing up in your advice, which is interesting. Because here's what I get. I think that this person's behavior is increasingly problematic, and yet I think, and I'm gonna say this about you, I think you in the back of your mind, probably without realizing it, are somehow hoping that things will change into something beautiful, meaningful, and happy. All right. And I don't feel like that's going to happen. All right. And I know you're saying he won't let you go, but and I hear that a lot in the community. And let me tell you, I'm going to break that down for you. If you really wanted loose of him, you could make that happen. Okay. And it's okay that you're struggling to let him go. But if you really wanted him gone from your life, there is a block button. There is a don't contact me. And if you have to, you can even get no contact orders. Okay? So you can absolutely close that ability for him to bother you if you want. Let's be real. I know that's uncomfortable. It's okay. Sit with it. Good. I just blocked him 8 days ago. Leave him blocked. And now begins the healing process. And that's okay too. All right? I know that's an uncomfortable thing. But he hasn't, if you put your foot down hard enough, he has no choice but to let you go. All right? And it's hard because I know sometimes even if we don't want a person back, sometimes, you know, hearing from them kind of almost feels like a little dopamine hit, and that's okay. That's normal. You're human. But at the end of the day, the clean thing for you to wipe yourself energetically clean to start with is exactly what you've done, is blocking him. And then beyond that, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I know it's hard, babes. I know. But at the same time, it's very important for you to allow yourself to feel those feelings and let them process through, all right? And that can be difficult, but at the same time, I have absolute faith that you can do it, all right? And that's what I got. Is I think he's a no-go, he's a dead end. Now, the reason he's still showing up in your reading is because, but without realizing it, you are still carrying that energy because you hadn't had time to heal from it. Because it takes both time and work to heal. Okay, and that's okay. I'm not gonna. I'm not judge and jury. I'm not. I just kind of know behaviorally patterns and stuff like that and energies and stuff. So you can absolutely get him even out of your energy, but you can't just like flush him down the commode like that. I mean, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be convenient? But unfortunately, you're kind of saddled with, working on yourself and healing those wounds, allowing yourself to grieve properly and all of that sort of thing. And there's actually a lot of, things that you can do, pragmatically to help you through that process. So at any rate, I hope that helps you, love bug. I hope that helps you, Monica. And I thank you so much for booking with me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But oh Lord. Okay, so yeah, you're kind of in a repeating pattern. And so yeah, it's time for you to kind of take a step back. Narcissistic abuse is a whole nother level and of healing that's needed, and then you just jumped in with him, and that's fair. I almost, I'm not going to say I know how you feel or know how your journey felt. What I'm going to say is I did something very similar, and I understand why we do that sometimes, why we jump in with another person, because I literally did that. And so I would just say, love yourself enough to take a step back and work on yourself so that you don't jump into something and recreate subconsciously another mess that is hurts you. Okay. Yes, I like that, Jesse. Delaney, I laughed earlier. She says, even though it's tomorrow where I am, or even though I'm a day ahead of y'all, I can't predict the future. I saw that. I was laughing my butt off. Anyway. Well, are you published? That's so interesting. That is so interesting. Like, I am fascinated with ridiculous stuff about the dark triad. Just so you know, fun fact. I don't know if that's a Gemini thing or because my moon is in my 8th house, but I absolutely am fascinated. Like, I study serial killers and behavior. I'm like fascinated with all human behaviors. Even much lesser, much lesser, much less, noticeable, much more subtle. I'm a pattern recognizer, and I can pick up on patterns, and I can see things, and I can clock people sometimes. And sometimes it takes me a little bit longer than others, but I usually can catch on to stuff pretty quick. And I'm like, so that's what you're after. So that's what makes you tick. I'm like, and then watch this. And I don't play with people, but I just do my thing, and I already know what they're going to do in response. And damned if they don't do it. Anyway, so that's kind of my thing. I'm a Jungian influenced person. That has to do with my tarot is Jungian. Let's see, was the 30-year guy, total sadist, almost didn't make it out alive. Good God. Tetrad. Yeah, because now they've added, is it paranoia that they've added? It's not the triad anymore, it's the tetrad. And isn't it paranoia that they added to that, Monica? Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think they added because I saw a thing where Dr. Ramadi was talking about that, and I found that fascinating. Hey, Al Smith. Thank you for the donation. But yeah, that's I think that's the thing though, that they've added isn't it paranoia that made it become the tetrad instead of the dark triad? I think so. Oh, girl, Monica, I have like all this shadow work stuff on Patreon that you may or may not know about, and it's very Jungian based, right? Yes, Dr. Ramani is great. I agree. Machiavellian and a good God. Oh, Machiavellian is the worst. Woo! In my opinion. I mean, none of them are good, but you know, it's like, damn. You know what, Al Smith? I'm going to actually answer your question. I know, I don't know if you meant for that to be a tarot question, but I'll let you hear from the other side of the fence from a woman that occasionally strolls through the dating apps for about 5 minutes every couple of weeks. And I'm going to tell you why most men are not attractive to me, and it has nothing to do with them owning their own home. I'm looking for someone with substance who is actually curious about me, who can have a healthy conversation, who is walks with emotional integrity and is self-aware. And that's what I don't find attractive. I can't speak for the majority of women. I can only tell you what it is for me. But I'd be willing to bet, based on tons and tons of data that I have from other women, because 88% of my viewers who I hear from regularly don't give a rat's ass about whether a man owns a house or not. I'm just going to tell you what I know. And I disagree, Birdie. It don't make a fuck. I don't care what somebody's got. You know, and I've had people lie to me and tell me they have shit that they don't have. I'm like, you didn't have to lie. I liked you because of who you are, but now that you've lied, you kind of fucked all that up. So yeah, I disagree with that, Birdie. I do think you know, what I like is somebody that can sustain themselves regardless, okay? You make your way, you pay your bills, great. And you do it in an honest way. That's all I really care about. I think men are looking for a lot of excuses that are real easy to solve, whenever really we just want men who have done the work. I see that repeatedly. That's what I got, Al Smith. I hope that helps you. All right, there's your freebie for the night. All right. And now we have Joseph. Yeah, literally every couple of weeks, and it's more for recreation when I'm bored. I go, Joseph, you'll laugh. Like, if I'm bored and have absolutely nothing to do, I'll just go in there to fuck with people and just Gemini play them in mice. That's all it is, because I already know what's there. I already know. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for a sugar mama. Well, you might find one, Birdie. You never know. You got a doctor chasing you. Go get her. All right. A sugar mama sounds good. I'm biased, so that'll work for me, right? Yeah, there, Nicole. Phoenix Cat Nicole. I agree. You pay your child support, get up for work every day, and then you're kind of worthy for humping. Yeah, and maybe more. Right? Hey, Colleen. There you go. Here you go. There it is again. There's another person that I know Colleen. Colleen is a regular of mine, Al Smith. So I can tell you, Colleen, I would take Colleen as a good representative of the female population and what we see. A man owning his own home has no bearing to me. I have my own home. It's not as perfect as what one would think. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Colleen. Appreciate you piping in. You're the Leo moon, right? I can't remember your sun sign, but thank you for that. All right, Joseph. Sorry to make you wait. But yeah, it's just not that simple. Men want a microwave solution to a crock pot problem. All right. Delaney, I just got yours in too. All right. Let's look at Joseph. Let me timestamp for Joseph. All right, Mr. Joseph, the non-Pisces. Here we go. The non-Pisces. Here we go. Whatever comes out. What does Joseph need to know? 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 Joseph the Pisces. What does Joseph need to know? What does Joseph need to know? Okay. What does Joseph need to know? What's bugging you? Something's got you stuck from the past. It's time to release. Boy, does it ever time to release. Here we are on the full moon in Pisces, my love. And here I am telling my little Pisces friend, it's time to release something that's got you stuck. World reverse, Eight of Swords. I'm going to drill down on that. Queen of Wands is the outcome. What that tells me is you're going to feel hella better when you release whatever this is that's bugging you. I'm not saying it's that you're hung up on an ex. I wouldn't say that. I don't know. That's assuming. And I don't want to assume. It could be anything that you've got questions about, something that's lingering, that's unresolved. This could go back to childhood wounds. This could be, about a job or whatever. Doesn't have to be romance. I mean, it could be romance. But there's something that's got you in your head that you're struggling with. And we're going to see what it is. We're going to see if we can figure out what's going on here, Joseph. Going to see what's going on with Joseph. Give me some clues to help Joseph identify whatever this thing is that you feel like he needs to process through. What's this unfinished business with the World card in the reverse? I think there's a couple of things that are showing here. I think some of this is work related, Joseph. I think there's a couple of things here that this could be. I think some of this may be work related. And what this looks like to me is this: I work so hard and I'm really doing good work. Why am I not being recognized and or paid in an equitable, fair way? And I did behind that get an ace. You have agency and you can definitely go somewhere where you are appreciated. And maybe I almost wonder, have you had that happen to you as a recurring theme at several places, okay, where it's repeated? Because I almost feel like you're in this energy of, why does this always happen to me? I don't know, I just heard that, okay? And why does this always happen to me when I end up getting the short end of the stick at work? That's kind of what I hear. And that might require a little processing. The work stuff can be that might require a little processing. All right. And I actually did a video about that. I think it was last night. I did 2 videos, and I did one of them about processing emotions, and how to emotionally regulate that stuff and how to know if you're doing it. But I also, and this is going to touch on something, and this is because I know you. I think sometimes you feel like I'm gonna try to cover some confidentiality that some other people might not know that I know. Okay, I think you sometimes wonder, because of your own parameters around love. Let's just put it that way, okay? I think you sometimes wonder about your own parameters around love, if that itself is not part of what holds you back. That I think what you're getting at is that what I'm getting at, are my parameters the reason that I'm not finding love? And I'm going to say to you, not no, but hell no, that is not your problem. Because from a girl whose parameters differ from yours, no, the dating pool is full of pee. That's just the way it is. And you're a pretty evolved kind of guy. You're pretty self-aware. And that makes it difficult because you can't stand ordinary. And that has nothing to do with your parameters. Those parameters, anyway. It's a different set of parameters. And that's not, so the parameters you're questioning are not the problem. It's the parameters of your standards of a quality person, period. So I hope I've said enough that kind of speaks to this. And you may need to process through that from a cognitive place, though. Take it from me. It doesn't matter what your parameters are. If you don't want bottom of the barrel scraps, you're going to come up short a lot. Right? Does that help, Joseph? And so, but what I want you to do is I want you to process through these things, and I want you to sit with both of those issues and process through to where it becomes something that you know, not just here, but here. All right? So let me know if I've hit on anything for you, Joseph. Let me know if I have hit on anything. And by the way, you're coming in as I am sexy, I'm gorgeous. And I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, and I'm smelling good. So this ain't nothing to do with you. This ain't nothing to do with you, hon. I'm just telling you. My cards are telling me you're a hottie, okay? So, yeah, just so you know. Hopefully I brought that all the way full circle for you. Let me know. Joseph, overall, you strike me as a pretty happy guy. And that works to your favor. It does and it doesn't. And hear me out. I think you need to stay that way. I don't think you need to change anything. Just keep doing you and keep working on yourself and on your journey, okay? But in that particular instance, it narrows the dating pool. Right? Because you're not desperate and you're not willing to settle for bullshit. And my only advice was hold your standards. There you go. There you go. I hope that helps you, love. You're welcome. And thank you. As always, thank you. Appreciate you. All right, Delaney is up next. I'm going to add you to the list, Delaney, as well as get ready to read for you. All right. And you're welcome. I appreciate you. Delaney, Laney, Fofani, Belaney, Baney, Fofani, B5, Fofani, Delaney. I don't know why, Delaney. That just seemed to be what come out. We're getting ready to read for you. Keep doing you and vibing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Could not agree more. All right. All right, Delaney. You know I'm crazy, girl. You know it ain't gonna be normal. Ain't nothing sane at the cottage. And we never promised sanity. We promised many things here. Sanity? Nope. Nope. All right, Delaney. Let's see what advice comes out from my little friend Delaney, the Capricorn. The Capricorn Kiwi. Praying for summer. Here we go, Delaney. Ah, Bethania. That's funny. Let's see what we got, love. What does my friend Delaney, the Capricorn, need to know? Hold on one second. What does my friend Delaney, the Capricorn, need to know? What does my friend Delaney, the Capricorn, need to know? What does Delaney, the Capricorn, need to know? What does Delaney, the Capricorn, need to know? What does Delaney, the Capricorn, need to know? Me too, Phoenix. What does Delaney need to know? Delaney. Baby, don't doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself. You're coming in, and look, I know you're a female, okay? And I don't read gender with court cards. You know that about me. You probably have heard me say that. Baby, you're coming in as this King of Pentacles. Earth energy at its finest, man. Capricorn, sitting up there. This is you. This is you. This is how you are. This is your vibe. And how you're struggling right now. You might sometimes see yourself like this. The contrast is stark here. And when I clarified that, I'm putting those like I had them. And the Hierophant here, you're a leader. You're not just amazing. You're a leader. You're a leader. You're going to lead others. I don't know if this is career-wise or otherwise, you know. But you're going to be a person who inspires others to do better because that's you. And yet, this is how you see yourself. All right, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Less than, subpar. Oh, that old Capricorn energy can sometimes do that to us, right? My little friend, the Queen of Swords, came out to clarify that. Okay? And here's what I love about the Queen of Swords. She's telling you the truth. She says, take a look again. Take a second look at yourself. She says, the truth is, my dear, you know the thing I like about the Queen of Swords? She's no bullshit. She is no bullshit. If she tells you, then that's how she sees it. And she'll tell you brutal truths too. Don't get me wrong. She'll absolutely lay it down. But she says, baby, stop seeing yourself as a Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You are, what's that saying they say? You're not salsa, you're guac, okay? And so the Queen of Swords suggests that, if you feel like you don't deserve blah, 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 romantically, career-wise, friends, whatever, she says, raise your standards. She says, raise your standards to your level. She says, baby, your standards are too low for yourself. She says, this is your standards, and this is where your standards need to be. Okay? Yes. Yeah, saying it how it is, but in a respectful way. Yeah, in the upright, yeah, she does. But she cuts to the chase. Hello, my Aries friend, Sanaka. So my Queen of Swords says, baby, wake up. This is the Queen of Swords. Wake up and smell the coffee. In this case, she's telling you, straighten your crown, raise your standards. You're thinking entirely too narrow as far as what you deserve and what you're capable of and what you're worthy of and what your self-worth is even. She says, you think entirely too little of yourself for what I see, says the Queen of Swords. Just so happens an air sign reading here for you. Isn't that odd? Isn't that odd and ironic? Yes, I love that. Smell the roses. There you go. Baby. Yeah. You are not smashed hamburger. You are not a burger at all. No, you're prime rib. You're prime rib. Keep that in mind. Yeah. You are sacred. Don't forget it. Don't you dare forget who you are. Ever. Ever. Hey, Sanaka, I've specifically covered that. You should be able to see that in the directions. You can ask a super chat, but you won't get an answer that way. You can follow the directions if you want to get a reading, though. But no, I do not ask. I do not answer. I do not accept super chats for payment for questions, only donations. Ironic, but good. I know. I hope that was helpful for you, Delaney. I hope that was helpful. Love, love, love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, as always. As always. Yes, ma'am, Lovejoy. You sure can. If you don't know, you can go to my website. You sure can, Lovejoy. How you doing, Lovejoy? Okay, I think I know you. Yes, you can, Jennifer. I think I remember you under a different screen name. Like I recognize your picture. Did you change your screen name? Do I know you under a different name? But yes, you can. It's not too late, baby girl. It's not too late. I'm good. I finally got my divorce settlement. Hell yes. I love that, Delaney. Yep, love Joy and Jennifer. Y'all can both book. Y'all are good. Thank you, Birdie. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's you, Joy. Okay, I thought so. I'm like, I know her. She's one of my regulars. I know that face. I don't forget. Sometimes I forget certain things, but I remember enough that I can piece stuff together. Right. I did a video about what? Phoenix, are you on my Patreon? If you are, Jennifer, I got yours. Yours just came through. If you are, there's a video on fear. Go watch it. It's short. It's like 10 or 12 minutes. And it's actually saying fear is your best friend and how to use it to help you. If you're on there, you've got free access to it if you're a Patreon member. And if you're not, there is a 50% off or 25% off code when you go up on my Patreon for your first month. So yeah. Only onwards and upwards. That's right. Well, it's a good time. You can get 25 off. The code to get 25% off of your first month. Oh, Phoenix, I need to tell you something. If you decide you want to do Patreon, let me save you a few dollars. Do it on a laptop. Do not do it on an Apple phone. You can do it on a MacBook, but if you do it on an Apple phone, it charges more, and I don't get it. And neither does Patreon. It goes over to Apple. So either use a laptop or an Android phone, and you'll get the better price. And if you use that code, it's EC25. If you use that code, you'll get 25% off your first month. Just so you know. Why am I so thirsty? All right, Jennifer, let's go, love. Let me add you up here. I'm going to go ahead and add you too, Joy, because I think you're getting ready to book. So I'm just going to put Joy on here. And we'll do that. All right. So Jennifer is asking, let's see here. Sag, I finally got an apartment. Yay! The location is just okay, but I feel it was fate. Please read the energies of my new neighborhood. Anything I need to know. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see what we got around this neighborhood. And what does Jennifer need to know about the energies of the neighborhood? What does Jennifer need to know about the energies around this new neighborhood? What does she need to know? What does Jennifer need to know about the energies around the neighborhood? What does Jennifer need to know? Oh, your apartment complex is strict. Am I right? Tell me that. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm so glad, Jennifer. I think you've got a good apartment complex, because I don't think they put up with bullshit, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Well, let's see here. In general, give me the vibe around the neighborhood. There you go, Delaney. Give me the energies around this neighborhood. 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 So far, I'm kind of picking up some pretty decent vibes, Jennifer. Let's see what the cards go into more detail on. Let's see. Ah, okay. Okay. I gotta get another shuffle here, Jennifer. Hang on. Why is that? Okay. Here's what I get. I do think you have some good neighbors, all right? I think this is going to be good for you in a lot of ways. With the Five of Pentacles here in the reverse, it does seem fated in the sense that financially, for sure, this has worked out well for you. In general, here's what I'm getting. You've got some neighbors that are good neighbors, okay? You absolutely do, all right? What I also think is that in general, there is some bullshit around there, okay? There's some bullshit, and it doesn't look like light bullshit, okay? But what the good news is that it looks like it can be avoided, okay? It looks like it can be avoided, the bullshit, okay? And I actually do. I almost sense this, because around you, and I've got you, and then I've got around you, all right? You, Four of Pentacles, High Priestess, and I'm going to go into that. Around you, Tower, Nine of Wands. Okay, so we've got some, I did, baby girl. I saw it come in just now, Joy. So you've got some stuff around you that I do see the sketchy. But here's where I think that you will be okay. With the Four of Pentacles and the High Priestess, that suggests that the trick is that you, if you stay to yourself and you're cautious about who you interact with and what you entertain, okay, you're going to be solid. You are going to be fine. But, you know, Four of Pentacles suggests being aware when you are going and coming, okay? And the High Priestess actually suggests the same things. Be aware. And the High Priestess is very discerning. She sees things, she doesn't always say things, right? She stays to herself, so does the Four of Pentacles, right? And so, absolutely, I think you're going to be fine with that. I think you got into a good situation with your apartments, okay? Because here's what I get. With the Devil, and I was looking at the Devil in reverse when I saw that. All right, the Devil in reverse, that kind of suggests that their overall mentality is that they are good to work with as long as you're good too. But you start up with some bullshit behaviors and stuff like that. They will absolutely find a way to get you out of there. Okay, does that make sense? Like, you know, they're not gonna, you know, I think you may have some sketchy shit maybe down the road a little bit, right? But I think with this particular apartment complex, I even almost feel like they're aware of that. And because of that, they're particularly sensitive about things like that. And the minute that they see things looking shady and stuff, If they come to realize that that's going to, create problems within the apartment complex, then they do what they need to do to solve that, to resolve that. Take care. Bring me a Frosty, Phoenix, when you go into Wendy's. I'll take a Frosty, please, and thank you. But seriously, so that's what I got, Jennifer. So I kind of do think in many ways I can see where this works to your benefit overall to be there. With the Five of Pentacles in reverse, that feels like a save. It almost feels like a guardian angel swooping in and just making shit happen for you. So I can totally see the feeling of fate there with what I saw in the card and what you said. Because it feels like it's affordable and it feels like it's a place that you could be stable. And so for that, I kind of can get that total Five of Pentacles in reverse. I almost feel like I may be wrong on this, but like just when you had given up. Tell me if that feels right to you. Just when you had given up or started to throw your hands up, you kind of found this thing and you're like, oh, well, this could work. And I think it will. I think it will. And I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. All right, Phoenix, bet. Well, that's what I got. I like that for you. That's funny, Jennifer. I was kind of like in a situation probably somewhat similar to where you are. Just when I started giving up, I was in a similar situation. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and it was kind of a similar thing where the environment could have gone either way. Where I ended up going, the environment could have gone either way, and it was a private owner, just like what you're saying, and the actual complex where I was at. He didn't tolerate bullshit. I will tell you that. Great to work with. I mean, solid. I lived there for almost probably two or 3 years. And the only reason I left is I just needed a bigger place and I was making more money. And, I could have afforded to move long before I did, but I just stayed there and kind of sacked up some money. But yeah, so I kind of can relate to that thing. And I kind of felt just like you, is like, thank God I found something that worked, right? So yeah, I'm happy for you, Jen. I'm happy for you. Take care, Delaney. Don't work too hard, beautiful. All right, Natalie, I got you too. Joy is up next, and then I got Natalie after Joy. Let me update that. All right. Your birthday was 8/25, and Antonia. Oh, by the way, both Virgos. Happy birthday, beautiful. We got a lot of Virgo birthday folks in here. Birdie just had a birthday. Joy's having a birthday. Birdie just had a grandbaby that had the ultimate birthday on the 23rd, right? So lots of Virgo babies. My Virgo Pergo brothers. My two kitty cats turned 1 yesterday. We made a Pisces sun. Ah, okay. That's funny. All right, Miss Joy, let's see what we got for you, love bug. So let me timestamp for you real quick. All right, so we've got, can we spy? Of course we can. My son's dad, Antonio, a Virgo. Will he be an active father for our son now that he has a new girlfriend, a female best friend in his life? How is Antonio the Virgo's feelings for me and towards Joy the towards me, Joy the Virgo? Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Let's see what we can find out for you, Joy. He is so much like us, but calm until he gets mad. All right. Let's see what we got. Tell me about this father, this Virgo father, Antonio, going forward as far as parenting. Do we see a step up in the role of parenting from this Virgo father? Do we see a step up in the role of parenting? In the role of parenting. Do we see this Virgo father stepping up, parenting this Pisces son? Do we see the Virgo stepping up in the parenting role? Do we see the Virgo stepping up in the parenting role? Do we see the Virgo stepping up in the parenting role? Give me the energies around this Virgo going forward in the role of parenting this Pisces sun. Let's take a look. Tell me about this Virgo dad going forward as it relates to parenting and co-parenting. Ace of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Shit. Tell me more. Okay. Oh, Joy. This is almost worse than if I just had a flat no for you. This is almost worse. I'm not sure how old our little Pisces is, but it doesn't matter. The effect is really the same. And this is where Mom's going to have to come in. Because let me talk to you and let me prepare you. Because here's what I get. For a while, yeah, banner, turning over a new leaf. And then he's going to get distracted with female, other female, right? Whether it's the new lover or what have you. And our amazing little Pisces is going to feel ignored and deprioritized. So for a while, yes. I'm not sure. I almost wonder if this temporary change, and it's huge, it almost feels love bombing, it's so big, Joy. I almost feel like if it's cursory and a performative in order to impress a female. That's kind of what I wonder. In fact, I'm going to ask, why is that? Why is that? Why does he start this way? 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 Why does he turn over this new leaf? What's his motive to begin with? What's his motive to begin with? to look good to the ladies. Yeah, he's playing the ladies. I'm not wrong. It's performative. It's performative. He's putting on a show for the ladies, or lady or ladies, and it is very performative. And that's almost worse because consistency is better than inconsistency, even if it's tough, right? So, unfortunately for you, Joy, as the mom, yeah. Well, but here's the thing, he already feels ignored. He's going to start love bombing your son. I'm telling you. He's going to suddenly become more attentive to your son. And that would be okay if he stayed that way, but he's not. So it's like he's going to start getting this huge attention and then it's just going to get dripped off. So that's even worse because the inconsistency is really rough, especially on someone that is young. And that's what I'm saying. That is when you're gonna have to step up. And here's what's gonna be important, Joy. One of the most important things you're going to be able to do is to stay steady in how you emote toward him, how you show emotion and love, nurturing, caring, and all of that parents do toward your Pisces son, okay? That's where you're going to have to remain steady so that at least one baseline in his life is consistent throughout the whole thing, unwavering. And that doesn't mean you overcompensate. That you can't do that. You still got to have your boundaries and your parental rules and all that sort of thing, right? But it's just that the love and the nurturing, the structure and the boundaries and the rules are the same throughout the entire process. And that's not going to negate this, but what it is going to do is give him one role model that is steady, that he knows he can count on. Because even the boundaries and the structure and the rules, kids actually, believe it or not, they inherently understand that comes from a place of love. That's what I got. You tell me if that makes sense. And I'm going to look at his feelings for you too. We're going to read for question 2. I know. I feel like you have been. Because I know you and I have had conversation about this kind of before. And I remember, us talking about that. And I know you got this. And it's just important to remind you to just stay steady as ever. And I believe you can. I know you can. You do that anyway. But, yeah. That's why it's going to be so important that he has that consistent role model, right? Does that make sense? I hope that helps. All right. Let's see about his feelings towards you. What are his feelings? What are this Virgo's feelings toward Joy, the Virgo? What is her ex's feelings toward her? Father of her child. Give me his feelings toward her. Give me his feelings toward her. Give me his feelings toward Joy. Give me the baby's father's feelings for and towards Joy, the Virgo. Give me this baby's father's feelings toward Joy the Virgo. What are his feelings toward Joy? What is that? Ooh. Give me a little bit more. Okay, I got the whole picture. He sabotaged both of my relationships after he would pop up unannounced and I would let him in. My dad said I had no boundaries with my son's dad and no respect for who I was dating. Well, that might be. We might talk about that, Joy. Let me tell you what I see here. He's of the opinion, and by the way, he is very invested in this thing. I don't see love, but I definitely see investment, and that can be different sometimes, okay? And that would actually make sense with him popping up and kind of sabotaging new connections, right? Because if he truly loved you, he would respect you and want you to be happy. So there's investment here, but it's like, I think he would like to be with you, okay? All other things being equal, I think he would like to be with you, but I don't get it's from a place of love. It may be obsession or possession, okay? I think that might be the driving thing here. I see it in the cards, and what you're saying absolutely is consistent with what I'm seeing here. But here's why he doesn't do it. I don't think he does anything toward coming towards you, actually. I'm going to tell you why. He feels like he has fucked up so badly that you wouldn't have him back. And that may be true. That's what I got. He's very, he feels like there's too many obstacles here to get back with you. With the Judgment card in the reverse, the Star card in the reverse, he feels like it's a hopeless situation. He does feel vulnerable toward you. Vulnerability, but it's not emotional vulnerability. It's kind of like you matter. What you do matters. Like he gives a fuck. Okay, he does. He definitely gives a fuck. But again, it feels more like obsessive, possessive, like kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense. Or maybe he looks at you as stability. I kind of feel like that could be. I'm looking at the Ten of Pentacles here. All right, let's see here. Yeah, it's not love. It's not love. It's that you provide stability for him. And I'm gonna go a step further on this thing, Joy. I'm gonna be real. I think when you two were together, I think you probably, if I had to say, the nature of that dynamic between the two of you probably looked like this: you giving a lot of yourself to the point of draining yourself, and him enjoying the fruits of that. Okay. And so I think I would, and no shade to you, because we live and we learn, right? But I feel like that you, looking back, I hope you learned a lot from this thing, right? About overdoing for other people. I think that probably was a big takeaway in this dynamic with him. I hope so. Because I kind of see him, I almost feel like he may have messed around even while you were together. He may have messed around even while you were together with other women and tried to hide that. With the Moon card and the Two of Wands in reverse, that suggests he may have stepped out a little bit, or at least thought about it, or kind of been, one foot in, one foot out kind of energy, and yet really trying to hide that. So the obsession possession thing that I'm picking up, and what you're telling me about him coming out and trying to sabotage connections that you're in, if he really had love for you, yes, he could be sad that you're with another person, and he'd prefer to be with you if he loved you, okay? But at the same time, he wouldn't want to interfere with your free will to pursue whatever made you happy. And that's another way you can tell if we as people, this is not towards you, Joy, but that's another measure. If we as people look at our ex and their new person and go, I hope they break up and he breaks a leg. You don't love him and probably never did, right? Well, that would be fine. So, and I would love to talk. I would love that, Joy. I think you're a delightful woman, um, and I think we would make some progress on your situation for sure. But what I'm going to tell you is I feel like I almost feel your energy to the point I just want to cry, but I also am so proud of you at the same time because I think you've come so far. I mean, that's okay. I'm just divining right now. It's just me being divining. I'm not. It's not cards, but I think you had a really rough relationship with this man, and I think that you're still. I think you're still healing. I think you still have a lot of pieces and parts that bother you and that hurt and that linger, and that's fair because I kind of feel like this connection did a number on you and still does because of the way he co-parents, and that hurts you. You got a double whammy here because you got the relationship, the romantic hurt, but you got the also got the hurt from how he's doing your son. So you got a double whammy coming from this Fruit Loop, right? And so, but I feel like at the same time you do see a lot. At least you recognize this person more about for who they are, and I think that you've come a long way. And I think as a mom, you've been super strong and stepped up and into really both roles. And that's been very difficult. And if I had to guess, you definitely are the sole provider of, from the emotional standpoint, the loving, the nurturing, and all of that. I would not be shocked if this man doesn't help. Is probably doesn't do what he needs to do from a financial standpoint towards our amazing little Pisces as well. That's what I'm just picking up. I'm just divining right now. There you go. So that's you tell me how close I am on all of this. That's just me picking up energy. And as such, and let me just take a step back. My opinion doesn't matter, but if I take a step back and I see the person that you are right now, I think you may feel broken in a lot of ways. You're not broken. Yes, you're hurting and you've got things you've got to process through. But I see a pretty amazing woman who just refuses to fucking give up. And I think a big motivator is that little Pisces in there. I think that's what keeps you rolling. I think that's what keeps you motivated to overcome some really shitty circumstances that you dealt with this person. You tell me if I'm wrong. Two pairs of shoes and outfits. Okay, well, that's something. That's something. Yeah, feeling like daddy of the year. Meanwhile, meanwhile, mom's going to the grocery store every week. Mom's planning meals. Mom's making sure he's got clean clothes. Mom's making sure he gets his homework done and he goes to bed on time and he gets to school on time. And dad gets to come in and take him shopping once a year and he's dad of the year. Yeah. Sit down. Sit down. That's what I got. All right. All right, Joy. I hope that helped you, love. All right. Miss Natalie is up. Ooh, he's a tall dude. He's got big, 125 pounds and plays sport. He is 5 feet, 125 pounds. He's 10. Okay, he's 10. He's 5 feet already? Good God almighty. He's tall. He's 10 years old and already, he's going to be a tall guy. He's going to be a tall guy. He's lanky. I bet he's going to be a good basketball player. If he's tall and thin already. If he's that tall already, you know, and he likes sports. Hey, Natalie Boo, how you doing? All right, here we go, Natalie. I'm gonna get you. Let's go, Natalie Boo. All right, so Natalie is an Aries, and we want to know about Patrick. Will Patrick reach out and communicate? And then, is there a future for our connection? He's a widow, only 3 years, intense new connection with a bumpy start after sparks. Okay, and that actually is going to help me to kind of see where we are in things. Okay, so let's see if we see communication coming from Patrick toward you, Natalie. Do we see communication coming from Patrick toward Natalie, the Aries? Do we see communication coming from Patrick toward Natalie, the Aries? Do we see communication coming from Patrick, the widower, toward Natalie, the Aries? Do we see communication? Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Hold on. Do we see communication coming from Patrick Do we see communication coming from Patrick toward Natalie, the Aries? Do we see communication coming from Patrick toward Natalie, the Aries? Do we see communication coming from Patrick toward Natalie, the Aries? Do we see communication coming from Patrick toward Natalie? Seven of Swords, the Sun, the High Priestess. I do not see communication at all with the High Priestess here. The jumper was the Four of Cups, by the way, in the upright. We'll talk about all of that. Two of Cups in reverse. Here's what I get. That explains the Four of Cups. All right. So the Four of Cups suggests that he doesn't want a relationship right now, that he's really not feeling emotion in this thing. It can speak to somebody that sometimes takes you for granted, okay? Complacency, all right? But the Two of Cups kind of sealed that emotion thing when it came out in the reverse. And what this tells me is that he is not on the same level as you as far as emotion. That usually speaks to one-sidedness as far as emotion, all right? Either one-sided or no-sided, okay? And in this case, we're going to say one-sided. Here's what's crazy. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Sun and the High Priestess. The Seven of Swords suggests that he's not been honest with you about his intentions to begin with, all right? He definitely felt this chemistry with you, with the Queen of Wands. But we have the Three of Cups here in the reverse. Now let's talk about that. And let's talk about what you said. The Three of Cups in reverse can certainly speak to third party. Do I think he's a cheater? I don't think so, but I do think there's a third party. I just think she's on in the ethers. Possibly, possibly. He may be a cheater. He is not honest though. He's definitely coming in with some pretty sleazy behavior or sleazy energy, okay, with the Seven of Swords, all right? So I don't think he's been honest with you at the jump. And is that he's a cheater? Is that he's over his past his wife, his late wife? Could be that, okay? Because sometimes third party energy will come up even when the person is no longer there. And the reason that can happen is because this person is still not over that. They've still not released that. And it's almost like you're competing with a ghost. But the other thing that is very interesting about the Three of Cups when it comes out in the reverse, harsh words, conflict, bumpy start after sparks, intense new connection. So I kind of get that. The High Priestess in the upright literally suggests two things. It can speak to secrets, and it can speak to silence. Crickets. This is the card of crickets when you see the High Priestess in the upright. So I don't see him reaching out at all. And I almost think that maybe he wasn't completely honest with you at the jump. And I kind of think with the Queen of Wands here, I think he was very sexually attracted to you. And maybe that was some of the motivation for him maybe misleading you to think that there was something different than what, yeah. King of Pentacles, Five of Swords. So he misled you into thinking he was much more ready for something solid and stable than he actually was. That's what I'm picking up. So I think this guy was probably, oh, and then we got the Nine of Pentacles here in the reverse. So then loneliness comes to play. Loneliness. That's a part of the motivator as well. Loneliness. And again, not being over something. So I kind of think that the entire thing, yeah, there you go. He felt guilty for feeling happy. There's your third party right there. There's your third party. Yep, there's your third party. But I think he misled you into thinking that he was more ready for something than he was. I just get this energy of him being misleading. Maybe it wasn't overt. I almost wonder with the Five of Swords here especially if it wasn't overt, but was very full on and then went cold. Yep, that's what I see. I almost don't think this was overt. I think this was more subtle, and I'm not sure he intended this. I think he knew he wasn't over her, but I don't think he intended to mislead you. I think it just happened. And I do get that intense chemistry here, and that was a big motivator. But, you know, let's talk about this. Many times when we have unhealed trauma ourselves, okay, and we get into a connection that is intense with a bumpy start and sparks, it can feel like chemistry because it's what we're used to, because it's exciting. The uncertainty becomes chemistry. It becomes exciting, right? The intensity, sometimes that can be mistaken for healthy chemistry, okay? And when we heal ourselves, then we are, then whenever we encounter a connection that has that, we're just like, oh no, I've seen this, I've done this, I know this, I've met this energy, maybe in different skin, but I know exactly what's happening here, and I'm not gonna participate. It totally changes what you're attracted to, and why those sparks and bumpy starts and intensity things are just not, they just don't do it for us anymore. They just don't light our fire anymore. And that's easily confused. But that's, yeah, I wanted to speak to that just a little bit based on, depending on what I saw in the cards, and I've seen enough in the cards that I kind of feel like um, that's what's here. Um, I'm going to see if there is a future for you two. I will say this, not until you both heal. And I say both. I say both. And that takes more than time. That takes time plus work. Okay? Um, and I'm not being cliche. I literally have the mechanics of what to do right there over on Patreon. Nonetheless, I'm not one of those people that goes around and saying you need to heal. I actually give people the mechanics of what you need to do. Does that mean heal? Maybe, maybe not. But what it does mean, if you heal, you won't get into another mess like this. Or I won't say you won't. You're a lot less likely to. And even if you encounter these things in the future, you'll catch it early. Right? So I will see if there looks to be 6 years celibate. Yeah. And that's just neither here nor there. That's just neither here nor there. You can be 20 years celibate and still unhealed. Fun fact, right? All right. So let's look at, I mean, you could have just had these wounds that have been there for 6 years that have been laying there dormant in the subconscious that you weren't aware of. And you meet this guy and suddenly they're activated. That's how that can work. That can work that way. All right. Let's look at any future energies between you two. Any future energies between you two. Any future energies between you two. Future energies, please, between Patrick and Natalie the Aries. Any future, what's the future looking like here? 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 What's the future looking like here between these two? What's the future looking like between these two? The star reversed. There, this is literally the card about future. And we have it in the reverse. And it's a card about hope for the future too. And we have it in the reverse. And that also, ironically, that card speaks to unhealed wounds sometimes when it comes out in the reverse. The Death card. And the Ace of Wands. What does that speak to? Nine of Wands. If you go back to this, you'll see a repeating pattern. Nine of Wands is a very exhausting repeating pattern. The Death card is here because really there's probably not a future. I kind of feel like if he does come around in the future with the Ace of Wands, okay, and the Nine of Wands, I kind of feel like it's sexual. That would be his motivation for coming around. And the Death card, let's just talk about that. That's the card that represents transformation and shadow work, healing. So the purpose of this connection, it's a catalyst. It's meant to prompt you to heal. Now, with a guy like Patrick, I want to speak to a little bit more of this, Natalie, because I have time. With a guy like Patrick, it would be so tempting to sit and say, well, you know, I think he's just got this, and analyze him and analyze why he does what he does and what he's thinking and what's driving him and all of that. At the end of the day, you, regardless of the whys of what he did or whether he intended it or not, Natalie, you're sitting here with a broken heart. And that's not going to change no matter what his reasoning is for what he did, whether he intended it, whether it was a piece of shit, or it just happened unintentionally. At the end of the day, your broken heart is still your broken heart. And it's unfortunately, it's on you now because nobody else is around you to help you. And that's kind of the way broken hearts work. You're sitting here with your heart shattered in a million pieces on the ground. And you're unfortunately tasked now with picking up the pieces and transforming. That's transformative. That's what that is, okay? Death and rebirth. You won't be the same after this. I can guarantee you that. That's the goal with the death card. You'll come out on the other side a different person. Not stronger. No. This is not to make you stronger. That's bullshit. What you're going to find is that you were strong all along and you didn't realize it. That's how that works, okay? But you won't be the same in other ways. You're going to be more discerning. You're going to have different tastes in men. You're going to be able to see some red flags early on, especially this right here. This would be a huge red flag, and I don't think he meant it that way, and I don't necessarily take that as malevolently intended, but that would be a red flag, okay? You just when you become self-aware and you start to see, you'll start to become so much more discerning, because when you start to work through these things, you actually get a double benefit. You become more intuitive and more able to track people. You get better at pattern recognition, and you catch this stuff before your heart ever comes out of your closet and becomes emotionally invested. And then we don't have a broken-hearted Natalie here. Yeah, you might be disappointed for a couple of days, but that's nothing compared to how it feels to have a busted up heart, right? And so that's what's up. That's what's up. That's the rest of the story. And I hope that helps you, love. I hope that helps you. And see, I look, baby, I feel you. That is easy to do. When you have wounds that go back before you meet these people, and I feel pretty confident to say you have some dormant wounds. Okay, you had some dormant wounds going into this, and that is why you were able to get swept up. When you become whole, then you are able to make decisions outside of your emotions. And when you have dormant wounds, okay, then that means that your emotions drive the car. It's okay. Emotions are beautiful things and they're never wrong. Okay. Where we get tripped up is when we let emotions take over and make decisions. And that often happens when people have wounds that are dormant, that they are unaware, they're not healed. And sometimes, often, not always, but often this goes back to childhood. Does that mean you had shitty parents? No, that's not what that means at all. First of all, it doesn't even have to have anything to do with your parents at all. And even if it does, maybe it was unintentional, but maybe it was beyond their control. Maybe they didn't realize, all of those sorts of things, right? Hey, Giselle, it is not too late. I still have availability. So that's not what this is about. We're not parent blamers here, but what we do is we like to go back to the original time that we felt like we were not whole, whatever this feeling is. And you have to do a lot of digging to figure out the root cause of this stuff. And then we say, when was the first time in my life I started feeling this way and that way, right? Where I needed somebody outside of myself to fill up a hole that I couldn't fill myself. Because when you fill up all your own holes, then you're not, then you don't have places that other people come in and they fill up and you get swept up and it feels so strong. And it's almost intoxicating. You almost feel drunk, right? And in many ways it is, okay? Because you sometimes don't even realize that you have that stuff until something like this happens and comes along and activates that. I hope that helps you. And so, what happens when you get yourself whole and you see those red flags and you don't even react to it? There you go. I have anxious attachment. There you go. And that anxious attachment, that's a symptom. So, you're starting the process already. You got to look for the root of it. And that's where shadow work comes in. Okay. And again, I have the mechanics of how to work through that. And there's videos, not, plenty, plenty, plenty. And I couldn't cover everything here anyway. But that's where I've got a 25 off your first month going on. If you go over there and look, if you're wanting that. Okay. 25% off your first month. There's a code that you enter. And you can get access to everything over there for a month for 25% off before you start paying regular price. So yeah. And if it makes you feel any better, Natalie, I have dealt with anxious attachment myself. And then and it was rooted in abandonment issues, okay? Mine was. And then I swung to the other side of the pendulum where I became an avoidant. And I didn't realize it. I thought I was healed because I wasn't anxiously attaching because I didn't need anyone. No, I was an avoidant. So same wound, different manifestation. And I had to come to a place where I came here, where I'm solid and I'm present for people and where I have emotional investment. And that's not been easy. But over time, as I've put that into play, it's gotten easier. So that was just part of the process. So I hope that helps you. And thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Really do. Yours is rooted in abandonment. Yep. And that can be such a vast the origination of that wound, the abandonment wound, can come from so many different possibilities, right? I mean, it can literally be like parental abandonment. Sometimes it can be that we lose a parent, through unfortunate circumstances, or maybe they become disabled, or you have both parents that are physically there, but someone is emotionally absent, right? And that was mine, emotionally absent. That would have been mine. And Natalie, you can see that stuff in a birth chart. You can see parental wounds many times in the astrology, in somebody's birth chart. Many times you can see that stuff. I mean, fun fact, Natalie, I've had 3 different chart readings over the years. And by 3 different astrologers, because you can get different perspectives, and it's not that any of them are wrong, but they can give you different perspectives. I tend to hone in more on the wounds because I'm Jungian in that way, and that's my passion of trying to help people work through that stuff so that they can have better life experiences. And that's kind of my focus when I do chart readings. But anyway, fun fact, the 3 different astrologers went into they didn't know anything about me, my life, my wounds, anything like that, and all they had was a chart. All they was looking at was my birth chart. And the first thing out of every one of their mouth, daddy issues. Every single time. It would be phrased different. They would say, looking at your chart, I'm wondering if you had a strained relationship with your father. And I'm like, how long do you have? How long is this appointment anyway? Yeah. And so, but it always would start out kind of tender like that, because people are trying to be compassionate and they don't want to make assumptions because, but yeah, you can absolutely see that stuff many times glaring in people's birth charts. Not always, but most, I would say 99% of the time, right? You can see where self-esteem issues originate and with which parent many times. You can see where people-pleasing can originate. All kinds of things, right? I have a mom wound in my chart too that is much more covert. It's harder to see. And I'm not using covert in the words of narcissism. I don't believe my mother was a narcissist. But I have some mom wounds that you can see there, but they're more subtle. You got to really dig for them. And it took me a while to see that. That's fair. Yeah, many times that's what happens, Natalie, is it's generational. You know, you go to their parents, and then you go to their parents, and da-da-da-da-da, right? And so, because look, you know, my dad, his mother, oh my God, horrific. Some of the things she did to people, to my dad, and to people in general, unconscionable. But then I look at my great-granddad, her father. I mean, you know, but it's up to us to break the cycles. So we break cycles around here. That's what we do. Giselle, I just got your reading order. I tell you, Natalie, we were talking about those generational patterns with parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, right? The cycle breaker says this, because oftentimes we become parents. I'm a parent, right? And we say this: it stops with me. It stops with me. That's what, I just wanted to share that. All right. Miss Giselle, how you doing? Miss Giselle is a Gemini like me. Give me some general advice for Giselle. Give me some general advice for Giselle. What does Janelle need to know? Giselle need to know. What does Giselle need to know? You know, this is an oracle card reading. I will pull oracles. I'm going to pull a couple of tarot cards for you, Giselle, and then I'll pull some oracles for you. Give me some advice for Giselle, the Gemini. Give me some advice for Giselle, the Gemini. It's time to release something. Chariot, 8 of Cups in the upright. There's something that needs to be released from your life. I'm not sure what that is, but don't be afraid to walk away from things that no longer serve you, okay? Things that no longer align. Things where you are abandoning yourself to stay with someone. Things where you're abandoning and not treating your own self with respect. Is what I'm getting at, all right? That is what I see in the cards. I'm going to get a couple of oracles for you as well. We're going to pull from the Cosmic Cat, and we're going to pull from Moonology. Cosmic Cat. Cosmic Cat. What do you have for Giselle? Discernment. There's something you need to take a closer look at. And this usually means look at the facts, not the feelings. Look at the facts of a situation and not the feelings. And don't let your feelings dictate your decisions. Tolerance. Sitting with uncomfortable feelings. All right? Sitting with uncomfortable feelings. It says sit with it. This is where you allow yourself to process feelings, and you actually, this is how you emotionally regulate. whenever uncomfortable feelings surface from the facts that we see. That is okay. Sadness, grief, disappointment, anger, all of those things, right? We learn to sit with it and allow those feelings to pass through, and they will. It just takes time. But to sit with it rather than trying to avoid it is going to help you to process through so that you don't have unhealed wounds that are activated later. Let's go to Moonology and see what Moonology has for you, Giselle. What does Moonology have for Giselle? Moonology. You and your loved ones are safe. I'm not sure what this is talking about, but you're okay. You are always going to be okay. Then let me pull another Moonology for you. Give me another Moonology message. Have faith in your dreams, okay? So this is not about giving up on your dreams at all right? It's more about if you're in a situation that's not giving you what you're wanting, you have agency. You have the choice to walk away and move in a direction that's going to get you to what you're actually desiring out of life. And let's get back to that safe thing. You're safe and sitting with it. You get to a place where you are safe to feel your emotions and allow yourself to feel those emotions. Allow yourself to yield to those, let those pass through. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we yell. That's okay. Do it privately, right? The yelling part for sure. And that's okay. Whatever comes, comes. And we don't fight those feelings. We honor those feelings, but we also don't make decisions based on those feelings, right? And we don't fight whenever it is uncomfortable. We sit with it and we let it to pass through. And you're safe. Allow yourself to be in a safe place to do that, all right? And at the same time, sometimes moving toward your dreams means moving away from the thing that's holding you back from your dreams, all right? I hope that helped you, Giselle. I hope that gave you some insight that is needed. Yeah, probably. And now you kind of have some emotions to process. If you walked away from your cappy, now you have some unhealed wounds, and that's okay. That's okay. That's part of it. But it's just what you do about it now that matters. And I hope that helped you, Giselle. All right, Miss Kim. Kim is up next. All right. Let's take a look, Miss Kim. We're looking at what Kim can expect in love. And Kim is a Libra. All right, let's see about Kim, the Libra. What does Kim, the Libra, need to know about love? What does Kim, the Libra, need to know about love? What What does Kim the Libra need to know about love? What does Kim the Libra need to know about love? What does Kim the Libra need to know about love? What does Kim the Libra need to know about love? What does Kim the Libra need to know about love? What does Kim the Libra need to know about love? Six of Swords. There's something that needs to be left. Boy, this theme is about releasing. There's something that needs to be released. There's something that is causing you angst, stress, heartbreak, and all of the yucky things that you need to move away from. With the Six of Swords here, that was the jumper that came out, Kim. Empress in reverse. It could be that you're abandoning yourself. That's Libra energy here. It could be that you've been abandoning yourself for another person or people in general, okay, in relationships. You may even have a pattern of that. Thank you, Giselle. Thank you for that. You may even have a pattern of that. What else does Kim need to know? What does Kim the Libra need to know? It could even be that you feel sometimes that you lose yourself, you lose your identity and connections, okay? And then when they end, you don't know who you are. Yeah, I'm getting strong energies around abandoning yourself, Queen of Cups in reverse, okay? And connections that are probably mirroring something back to you, okay? I kind of feel like what I'm seeing here is a struggle around a pattern, and let's talk about it. All right. So the cards I'm looking at, the Six of Swords, the Empress in reverse, the Lovers in the upright, the Strength in the upright, the Queen of Cups in reverse. Let's talk about it. I think you may even do this because of self-esteem issues that may go back to a strong figure early on. Because I'm looking at a Hierophant when I say that. All right, and what I feel like is this, that's affecting you now. And I think that at least one, if not multiple relationships have come along with this Lover's card that have mirrored that back to you in this way. I think you've been, you've dealt with people where you had these intense connections and literally they would hold back, pull back, or go away entirely. And I think you were so afraid of losing someone that you felt like you needed to do more than what was really reasonable. And like, I think if someone you loved very deeply, like if you had a good friend or a sister, if you saw them doing the same thing, you'd say, girl, you deserve better. But yet I think maybe you would struggle to take your own advice when you're in the situation. And I think that comes down to why you may abandon yourself sometimes and give too much of yourself in love. All right. And I think that is a pattern, Kim, that is likely to repeat, sadly, even with different skin. Does that mean you're a bad person? Not at all. No, no, no. We do not get what we deserve. Karma just doesn't work like that, because it can be confusing when you come up in a karma-driven, you reap what you sow kind of world. But that's so easily disproven, because look around you at how many bad things happen to good people with no explanation, right? And so that's just not how karma works, all right? And it's a very misunderstood cosmic law. So am I saying you've treated these men bad and you deserve it? No, 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 no. But what I do think is that you need to treat yourself better, and you need to treat yourself in a sacred way. And start realizing your own value. Okay. And I think you need to do some deep digging around the root cause of what causes you to do this. What causes you to feel like you need someone so much that you would abandon yourself and go overboard to the point of abandoning yourself to do for this other person. You let me know if that makes sense, Kim. If you're where you can hear me. And what I would love to see you do is break that pattern. Because I feel like you're probably a nice person. It does. Thank you for that. So I want to take yourself. I want you to take your most recent relationship that you've dealt with, okay, and whatever you chose to put up with. Let's just put it that way. Your all-time bestie, your sister, or if you have a daughter, I want you to take whatever advice you would give to them, because you deserve the same thing they do. And that's to be loved and nurtured and cherished like an empress. Because Libras are that. It's no coincidence that this card came out in the reverse, right? This Empress card, because that's Venus energy. This represents two different zodiac signs. Okay, it represents Taurus and Libra, and here we have, this Empress energy. And I'm just going to go to what an Empress. Let's just talk about an Empress. She doesn't need anyone. She attracts. She doesn't chase. And she doesn't get mad. You're not going to treat her right? Oh, okay. You're going to, then you can go. There's the door. No, you can't stay. Now, I'll even pack you a lunch because I'm an Empress and I'm loving. But you can't stay here. You don't get to eat at my table anymore. I want you to eat. Go sit out on the steps. I'll make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you go. And you be well. But you can't stay here and treat me like that. Because I'll be treated sacredly. Because I am a divine feminine, not just a feminine. I'm a divine feminine. And as such, I'll be treated sacredly. And that doesn't even have to be screamed or yelled. It can be a whisper. And can I tell you, the first person on your list of people that you are going to need to require to treat yourself sacredly is you. By not tolerating bullshit anymore. There you go. Hope that helps. I hope that helps, love. I hope that helps. So you'll have to let me know if that makes sense. Well, hello, Street Accents. How are ya? Good to see ya. How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. But I hope that helped you, Kim. I think we are about to call it a night. I'm going to go over here before I wrap up. I'm going to mark everything sold out so somebody can't accidentally book while I am, and may not catch it. So let me mark everything sold out on my website. Some of the stuff did sell out. Yay! I tend to abandon myself in relationships and do a lot. So that literally is a thing that you've been struggling with. Girl, I feel you. I feel you. And I want to promise you this. I won't promise you'll never meet another douche canoe in your life. No. We won't make you those promises here. Not with the dating pool like it is. But what I will tell you, Kim, is this. You can heal that. And you're talking to a woman that did. I know. I'm not going to say I know how you feel. I know how I felt. And it's so disappointing to say, God, I did so much for this man. And to feel like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Whenever, you're doing so much for people sometimes, right? But you can heal it. You absolutely can heal that. It takes time and work. But you can. You absolutely can. I remember the first time that I realized I had more agency than I realized. And in the choices of who we choose, right? Hey, dependable love. I remember that, of saying, yeah, I don't have the option of a healthy, fulfilling relationship with this guy right here. But I do have the option of choosing myself. And because think about this. Here's another way to look at this, Kim. Here's another perspective. Just maybe this will help you. I don't know. I guarantee you that there is a version of Kim right now that has probably cried a lot of tears alone over a man, or maybe more than one, over the way they treated you and your heart busted up. That's who you need to be loyal to. That's where your loyalty needs to be. You need to honor her and be able to say to her, I'm never going to put you in that situation again because I care about you. And that's a version of you. That version that cried those tears, that's actually who's with you, who's solid for you. So that's where your loyalty needs to be. So when we betray ourselves, that's actually who we're betraying. It's like we're saying, oh, your tears didn't matter. But they do. They do. So you owe it to that girl who cried those tears. You need to make a commitment to her that you're going to do everything you can to keep her from never being in the situation of crying over a situation where she abandoned herself and lost herself just to be with a man. And there's a peace that's going to come with that. So repeat after me, Kim. Never again. Never again. Never again. And let me tell you something I like about Libras. They're charismatic, they're charming, they're beautiful, they're sexy usually, right? They're diplomatic. Don't lose that. Don't lose the softness. You don't have to lose the softness to have boundaries. You don't. Some people think they have to be screamed. No. If you're confident enough in yourself, they just can be spoken. With the charisma and the diplomacy and the eloquence that only a Libra can bring to the table. There you go. There you go. I hope that helped. That being said, I think we are going to call it a night. And I will see you guys next time. I think I'm going to call it a night and go prop my feet up, get me something to drink, take care of my fur babies, and chill. With the peace of knowing that I'll never abandon myself again. How about that? All right. Bye, y'all. Love you. See you later.